for women.
Yeah.
Puts a bag down in a shop, turns around 5 seconds later, and it's gone.
It's gone. I know. Absolutely shocking. Right, it's time for, I think, for Plank of the Day, because we're struggling to get hold of Anne Widdecombe. We'll keep trying, but at the moment we can't seem to find her. So shall we do Plank of the Day? And there it is. And we're going to quote, first of all, from somebody called Lyndon Kemp-Carran, the leader of Kent County Council. It says, a major incident has now been declared after more households have been affected by a shortage of water in Kent in the last 24 hours. We are putting additional arrangements in place to prepare for further potential disruption, she said on X. Kent Council officers said water tankers are now delivering supplies. Several schools in Kent and Sussex have been closed. Public libraries in East Grinstead, the Queen Victoria Hospital in East Grinstead, appointments are having to be carried out virtually. Well, how can you carry out an appointment virtually if you're supposed to be in hospital? You know, what are you in for? I've got a hip replacement operation. Oh, we'll just do it virtually then, shall we? Just pretend that you're going to get an operation. David Hinton, the chief executive of South East Water, had to face angry MPs just last week because there's been water issues in Tunbridge Wells, basically, which is, you know, the Garden of England, for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. He apparently said when he was at Parliament and before a select committee, he gave himself 8 out of 10 for his response to the crisis.
Wow.
Who are these people?
Wow.
I mean, unbelievable, right?
I'd hate to see what he thinks 4 out of 10 looks like.
I mean, really. I mean, this is the second biggest incident in a month after more than 24,000 homes and businesses were left without water just before Christmas. There's a new local action group called Dry Wells Action. It's called for the army to be sent into Tunbridge Wells because basically people have not had proper water supplies now for up to 3 or 4 weeks.
And in a country that over the last few weeks has probably been the wettest it's been at this time of year for a long time.
Absolutely right. Jonathan Hawker from that group, Dry Wells Action, basically says, we can't put up for this for much longer. We're living like we're in the third world. We can't go to the toilet. We can't wash our hands. We can't do the dishes. We can't wash our clothes. We can't even feed our children or our pets in the evening. And they've got pictures here, and you can see it, bottles of water and at collection points all around. I mean, it's like something out of a war zone.
So maybe what we should do is find out where the chief executive of that particular water company lives,
Yes.
and turn his water off.
Yes.
And say, we're not going to restore your water.
Yeah.
You've restored the water to the 30,000 residents of Kent.
Right. And of course, once they did finally get it fixed back end of sort of Christmas and New Year, it turned out that it was E. coli in the water, so they had to close it all off again. Because apparently when there's a water supply issue and a water supply problem, quite often the water can get contaminated.
That's quite the schoolboy error, though, isn't it?
It really is.
If you're a water company, you kind of, apart from producing the water itself, it's beholden on you really just to make sure it's actually safe to drink.
It's not,
That's it, isn't it?
It's not hard, is it?
It's like McDonald's running out.
It falls from
running out of cars.
Falls from the sky. I mean, I had that once in a Pizza Express in Eastbourne when my kids were a lot younger, we went to go into the Pizza Express because they quite liked it. We got a table for 4. They said, well, we have, but we haven't got any pizza. And I was like, sorry, we haven't got any pizza. They said, we haven't got any pizza. I said, well, did you make pizza? It's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not, oh, no, we have to get it delivered. So they don't even make the pizza dough. I was like,
Well, they couldn't even go and buy some.
I'll go and buy some flour and get you some water and some yeast, and I'll make you some pizza. I just make my own. I said, how about that? They were like, no, well, maybe you should come back.
You could do that and call it the Mike Graham.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you have on it?
But well, I normally would like. I mean, there's 2 different kinds of pizza that I like. I like either a sort of a hot chili one with spicy sausage,
like an American hot.
Yeah, like an American hot. Or I'm quite partial to anchovies and capers and that kind of.
I think people can comment to see what your pizza should be.
Yeah, what pizza? Maybe we had an official pizza of the Mike Graham show. But yeah, I mean, I can't stand these businesses that you know, like you say, it's like McDonald's running out hamburgers. You know, you got one job. You know, what you got to do if you're a water company, you got to collect the water which falls from the sky, right, for free, right? You've got to put it into some kind of container to hold it.
And
you've then got to
it through pipes that have been there for years.
Which have been there for years. It's already there. You don't have to build the pipes. You just have to maintain them. And then eventually you have to just take the water away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, down in Sussex, right, they charge you more money for taking the water away than they do for supplying it.
Yeah, and these clowns that run these water companies will still get their massive bonuses at the end of the year. We will look back at this and say, but hang on, you failed in your fundamental duty to deliver the one service that you're responsible for, but you've still got a £3 million bonus.
Yeah.
How's that work?
I know. A couple more super chats. Laura Jane says, Mike and Russell are a great team. One from Rain here who says, we desperately need change, and that means getting behind reform. Voting for advance risks that change. I'd like to see Ben, Rupert and Nigel build bridges, but that, I suppose, is unlikely. One from John who says, journalist, Sahawi likened you to Goebbels. Farage. Well, it could have been worse. Genius.
Could it?
Not sure how much
Right.
worse it could have been.
Yeah.
Ruddy Gore says, love the new signage. Great show, which gets better every day. Well, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, we are, of course, here every single day from 7 until 9 in the morning. And we've also got an after show coming up later on with Rebecca Butler today, who's a very high-powered lawyer who's got an awful lot to say about free speech, an awful lot to say about certain things that have been going on in the police service in this country. And we'll be checking in with her just after 9. And also, as we said earlier, you can now get this show live coming to you on Substack without any ads. So if you want to do that, if you have subscribed, great, you should be looking at it now. If you haven't yet, you can go and do that. Otherwise, just continue to watch it on YouTube. We've got loads of you watching, lovely, beautiful people out there on the real home of Common Sense. Russell Quirk, thank you so much for hanging around, helping us out there, because Anne Widdecombe couldn't quite make the old connection